Just Minding My Business Radio, where we are moving at the speed of God, learning what we didn't know we didn't know. I'm your host, Ida Crawford, so grab a pen and paper and get ready for information that you can use.
Welcome to JMMB Radio. I'm your host, Ida Crawford.
And this is your co-host, Ruth Haskins.
2018 is almost to a close, and Ruth and I just wanted to take the time to thank the amazing people that we interviewed in 2018 on JMMB Radio. There were over 50 people, so we will be acknowledging everyone in subsequent weeks. So first on our list is Aaron Paskins, who is an award-winning sculptor, and his wife, Miss Gina Paskins.
That was an awesome interview. There goes my voice. That was an awesome interview. Aaron Paskins is an amazing sculptor, and one of the things that we love about his art is that his passion comes through in his art. We also got to see him with his wife because his wife was with him, and it's always amazing when you see a husband and wife work in tandem to accomplish a goal. And it's interesting because Aaron himself had always known that this is what he wanted to do. He says that from the time he was 7 years old, he had already decided that art was going to be his life. And it's very interesting because he came from a family background of artists who encouraged him and taught him their various styles and some of the many different nuances of being both a painter, a sketcher, and then a sculptor. And we're really, it was just a great, enthusiastic interview, and they're very active in the community because they really believe in the power of art within the community, how it helps people to grow and to know their own story. Now, I will say that all of his art has to do with the African experience, whether it is Africa in diaspora or whether it's Africa on the continent. And it's just really stunning. If you get a chance to see him, do. And as a matter of fact, we know that he will be Aaron Paskins will be in Dover, Delaware, and he will be holding a special presentation for quite some time, from May 3rd through July 21st of 2019 at the Biggs Museum. And the title of his presentation is called Spirit Revealed, New Works by Aaron Paskins. So they will be on display from May 3rd to July 21st, 2019 in Dover, Delaware at the Biggs Museum. And the little note that I have here says that Aaron Paskins is a Dover sculptor who has been building a national and local reputation for imaginative, inspiring African figures of the continent using unexpected materials. And he himself says, and I thought this was very interesting, that he wants to be remembered for his love of art and my devotion to it my whole life. So that was really good. And again, what I loved about that, and I think we both appreciated, Ida, was the fact that it was a husband and wife working in tandem, working together to accomplish a wonderful goal.
Absolutely. That was an amazing show, and just like you said, the energy that they both brought to the mic was just, you could just feel it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And then we had Miss Barbara Palmer, a.k.a. Courageous Diva, who was a 2-time breast cancer survivor who was passionate about encouraging and inspiring women through their cancer journey. I mean, Miss Barbara has so much energy, and she just made you just laugh. Some of the things she said, I was just tickled to death when she said that she couldn't wait to get her handicap sticker. I thought that was so cute, and I just loved how she took what is a very serious disease and made humor from it.
You know, I thought that was probably the most, amongst many of the things that she said, that was the most amazing thing about Barbara, was that having gone through this twice, she could still laugh. And it was her laughter. She says that it was part of her sense of humor, her ability to laugh, that enabled her to conquer. And so I know that anyone who heard that, and if you haven't heard it, go back and listen to it, because it's still available for listening. It is just a very encouraging interview that just inspires women, whether it's breast cancer or anything else in our lives that's really keeping us down, that's presenting us with what seems like an insurmountable challenge. I just found her all around encouraging and amazing.
Absolutely. She was very, very encouraging. And then we had Darius, the Professor Wise, who made us think about what we were thinking. And that interview was really empowering. Darius is the founder and CEO of Wise Decisions, and that's an organization committed to preparing people to focus on the mindset necessary to face life's challenges. He talked about a neuroscience of the brain and the left side, the right side, the thinker and the prover. It was really an awesome and show that made you really think about what you think about.
You know, absolutely. And every once in a while I go back to what he talked about, the thinker and the prover. And, you know, bottom line, what we think, our thoughts create our reality. And so we can think a thought and we can let our thoughts run away with us. But if we do, especially if it's to the negative, the other side of our brain is going to say, well, I'm the prover, so if you want to think all those negative thoughts, I'm going to prove you right, which is just sort of like made me really stop. It's like, okay, so I guess I better get control of my thinking, you know, bring my thoughts under control. So that was an awesome show, and he has a fabulous book out called What Are You Thinking? And it's available on Amazon, and it's really worth the read, so it's worth the purchase.
Absolutely. And he also has it on Kindle, so
right.
You can. Yeah, that just came out just recently. So if you haven't gotten the book, I would definitely recommend picking it up. And that title is What Are You Thinking? And one of our other guests, Jeff Young. Oh, my. He was a powerful poet whose passion is to tell stories of strength, encouragement, and deliver wisdom. And basically his audience is the younger people, to help them to understand that, you know, how they think about themselves is very, very important in terms of being able to move through life. And, I mean, he just had a way with words. Yeah. It was just an awesome interview.
I thought that it was interesting in the way that he spoke about language, that he recognized that he had to speak to young people in a certain language. That, you know, it's not that he was using any type of profanity or anything, but he talked around topics that they were familiar with in a way that they would hear him and be able to respond. And I think that is a marvelous way of dealing with young people. Not dealing, I would rather say working with young people. That goes back to a bit of what Darius Wise was saying. It is about approaching their thinking patterns, recognizing what they are, and being able to motivate them from that point, not imposing your thinking pattern on them, but finding where they are and working with them from there. So I found that really inspirational, and his poetry is dynamic.
Oh, yes, it is. I remember the first time I heard him earlier this year in D.C., I was totally captivated. And he calls himself Jeff Young Lungs Motivation. And I was totally captivated in the way that he presented the words. They just penetrate you and really make you think. So I really enjoyed him in that space as well. Mm-hmm. So Young Lungs Motivation, and that is Mr. Jeff Young, and he can be found on Facebook, Instagram, and all the different places. And one of the things that he said is, I want people to take away at least one line they can live by, so, which was very, very powerful. We've got coming next, Sid McNary.
Yeah.
And we just recently interviewed him, and oh my God, he was powerful as well. You know, he's been practicing meditation since the age of 8 years old, and found that yoga was healing not only for emotionally, but it's also physically. And his show was really, really awesome. He stated that he was, he had some health issues which have plagued him for like 30 years, and a full range of motion in his right ankle that was fused in 1995. And through the power of yoga, he was able to heal himself from both of those conditions.
Mm-hmm. It was interesting. That particular interview brought out a whole new idea about yoga. Many people think that yoga is just about positioning your body and saying different, what they call mantras. But he brought out a new perspective, and I would be wrong to even try to quote him on it, but it was very interesting that he was able to present yoga in a different light. That it's more than body positioning and saying mantras. There's a whole science behind yoga. And I know one of the things that, if I can remember, I think it just slipped my mind, he was talking about, it slipped my mind. But his thing is that he says that it was his mother and father's lifestyle practices that started him on his foundation so that he could see what yoga was, and that it allowed him to grow into it. And now he says that his mantra is get better, be better, and stay better. And he continues to try to inspire people to do exactly that through the power of yoga. And remember, too, he also said that there were other practices that he brought in. This is what I almost forgot. That he said that he actually went on a vision quest. And I forget how many days he was out there, but it is a Native American practice, a very ancient Native American practice, and he said that that was instrumental in him moving forward in his life. So it was a combination of factors. And I know that in the Vision Quest, it is you and nature and God. That's all you've got. You don't have anything fancy, no fancy camping gear, nothing. It's just that's it. And when you finish, it's a clarification. So there was so much. This is another one of those interviews that if you haven't heard it, people, please go back and listen to it and take notes. There's a lot of information there that you can actually apply in the end of this year, going into next year. One of the things that we love about doing Just Minding My Business Radio is that the information that we bring to you is information that you can use. It's not just, nice words floating over the air and wonderful people. They are wonderful, but they bring powerful messages. And I can say that every one of our guests has brought powerful messages that are just instrumental for life, for living, and living well.
Absolutely. And yes, and then back to Sid, he also has 2 books out, one entitled Empowerment and Beyond and Yoga and Life Empowerment. And then his latest book is The Warrior Within, A Quest for Peace. So if you have not heard that interview, I encourage you to go back and take a look. This is the most recent interview that we've had, so you don't have to dig too far back to get to it. But it has been an amazing journey in 2018 with all of the fabulous guests that we've had. And I can't do them all in one show, but we're going to acknowledge each and every one of them in the coming months, because without them, this show would not have existed and done so well. So we really want to take the time to thank not only the people that we've just acknowledged, but the people that we will be acknowledging going forward. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you all so very, very much. Thank you for your time and your presence at JMMB Radio.
This show is brought to you by the amazing women of a Sister Circle Empowerment Network, ASCEN LLC, where we are never in competition, but always in collaboration, and our valued sponsors. Learn more about our sponsors and their services and membership in a Sister Circle, ASCEN LLC, at www.asistercircle.org. To learn about becoming a sponsor for Just Minding My Business Radio and how our marketing package benefits your company, please visit our website at www.asistercircle.org. Voiceovers by RCH VoiceWorks. Contact slvoiceworks8201 at yahoo.com or call 443-620-4115.
Thank you for tuning in to Just Minding My Business Radio. I'm your host, Ida Crawford. We hope you enjoyed the show and appreciate you stopping by. Many blessings to you and yours.